just go back. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Today I toast to you with my coffee. I hope you're having a great day and a blessed morning. Today, let's talk about the dark moon. So yesterday we talked a lot about the moon phases, and I kind of rambled on for a long time. I will go into more depth on some of those topics later on. I just felt like there needed to be a quick overview before I started doing these more in-depth ones about the different moons. The last full moon, I did that spell. I hope everybody checks it out. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Anyways, so let's talk about the dark moon. So this next dark moon comes on the 20th in a few days. It's going to be a dark moon in Cancer. Right now the sun is also still in Cancer, so it'll be again a unique energy. We'll get this dark Cancer moon again. But let's talk about that energy. The dark moon brings in that crone goddess energy and that wisdom, that reflection, that dark energy. And then Cancer brings in that loving home energy. Oh, excuse me. So Cancer brings in that loving home energy. If you know somebody who's a Cancer, they're typically big huggers. They have all their stuff with them. They're constantly carrying their home with them. They don't like to be away from their home. And it's that same kind of homey energy that we're going to get with this dark moon. Now, it's a summer dark moon, and, it gives us the opportunity to be out late and to be able to hang out with that moon. And so this is definitely a good time to do some self-reflection and to work on your ideal self. I've got a whole lesson that I've been working on that'll come out with those lessons when that stuff comes out. It's coming. But about your ideal self and about who you think you should be and who you are and who you want to be and the differences in those things. And so as you reflect under this dark moon, think about who you want to be, think about who you are, think about the things that you can change about yourself. Think about the things that you cannot change about yourself, and start to just really kind of put those puzzle pieces together so that you can see who you are and who you want to be, and then and the crone goddess will lend that energy and to help you see those things that you need to see to change, or see the strengths that you have, or see the weaknesses that you need to work on. And all of these things to help you be the person that you want to be, the witch you want to be, the pagan you want to be, or, just simply the person that you want to be. So this energy under the dark moon is going to be a great time to sit and reflect. I would recommend sitting down with a notebook, and on one page, put all of the things that you love about yourself and start there. And then on the next page, put all of the things that you wish you were. You wish you had a degree in whatever, you wish you were more successful, you wish you had your own business, you wish you were this more confident person, you wish whatever it is that you wish you had. Those things that your ideal self, when you envision your ideal self, like, oh, if I was the person that I absolutely wanted to be, these are the things that I need to attain. And then on the next page, make a list of the things that you can't change. You can't change what color you are. You can't change the color of your hair. Well, you can change the color of your hair, I guess. But there are just some things that you can't change. This is who you are. You were made in this body and in this flesh for a reason. The gods have a plan for you, the elements, the fates, the energies that be. You have a lesson to learn in this life. You have a mission. You have a purpose. You have a thing that you're supposed to be doing. And so there are things that you can't change about yourself. No matter how much I try, I'm a loud person. And that's not even something that's like my color of my skin. I'm just a loud person. And, I've been married to my husband for 10 years now, 11 years almost, and he is a quiet person. And so, when we first started dating, or we would go out to restaurants, or we would go to places, he would tell me, he would be like, I'm right here, you don't have to yell. I'm like, I'm not yelling, this is just how loud I talk, because I'm a loud person. And even though I've tried to change that over the years, and I've done better about lowering my volume, my general talking volume, when I get excited, or when I get into something, or when I'm not paying attention, I'm just loud. My mom will say I got it from my grandma, but whatever. When I used to spend time at my papa's house, I would come home and I would be so much louder, she says. And that I just, anyways. So, as a, and that's just something that is who I am. It's a part of who I am, and it's one of those weird traits. It's just a part of my core being. And, I'm a super honest person, so I would put that on that list. These are things that I cannot change. No matter how hard I try to not be cavalier and honest, it just happens because I feel the need to say those things, and I can't help but say those things, and then they come out, and I'm not trying to be hurtful or mean or anything of those natures. It's just my cavalier honesty. So there are those things that you cannot change about yourselves that are more than just your hair color or your skin color or your eye color or whatever, where you're from. And then make a list of the things that you want to change. I recently quit smoking, which would have been on that list, even though I love smoking. It's just it's not healthy, it's not worth it. All of the list goes on and on and on and on. Reality is, smoking cigarettes is bad. No matter how much I love it. Anyways, but we're doing good. So I made that change. I would still put it on that list because, like I just said, I love smoking, and it's still psychologically something that's hard for me to move past. But physically, I'm past that. I don't have to have a cigarette, which is amazing. And it's an amazing change. And making that list of things that you want to change is really nice, because then when you change those things, you can cross it off the list. You'd be like, I did this. I'm done. Bam. And that makes you feel like you're being successful, and it helps you hold yourself accountable and also reward yourself. So you have 4 lists, the things that you love about yourself, the things you want for yourself, the things that you want to change about yourselves, and the things that you cannot change about yourself. And then look at all of those things and, think about each aspect and, okay, I'm a loud person. Is that okay with me? Is this who I like to be? Why can't I change this? Is this something that I really want to change, or should I change, or blah, 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 blah. That's why I put it on the I can't change this category, because that's just part of who I am, and I don't want to change it. I mean, I'm better now as a grown-up about being more respectful for quiet places or quiet situations, or like having an intimate conversation with my husband where the table next to us doesn't have to hear. And that's okay. But when I went out with my sisters, and all 4 of us were in one restaurant, the entire restaurant could hear our conversation. Every juicy, small, catching up detail. So, it's just one of those things. You have to decide who you are and who you want to be. And this moon and this dark moon and this Cancer and these things, the Cancer moon, they can help you focus that energy and really reflect. If you'd like to take that a next step further, you can get out a dark bowl, fill it up with water, and the things that you have questions about, like, say, well, I'll just use, I'm super honest, so let's use my honesty, and I can reflect on my honesty. Is this something that is helping me? Is this something that is hurting me? Is this something that is good for me? Is this something that I should continue? Is this something that I should work on? And reflect on that, and, I would write it on a little strip of paper, my honesty, and then I put it in the dishwater and let it float on top of the dark bowl, and then sit in the darkness with the dark bowl and the floating paper and meditate for a moment. And you might get images or smells or sounds or feelings or whatever it may be, and let that come to you, and then write it down. And don't decide in that exact moment exactly what you're being told, but write it down so that when you're totally done with the activity, the next day, you can come back and reflect with that. On that new moon, you can look at it with that light, that, sit under the new moon and look at it and reflect. And, okay, here are the things that I learned. Here are the things that I reflected on. And continue to become that ideal self. The only thing holding you back from being your ideal self, there are 2 things, and they're both you. One is unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we have the unrealistic expectation that tomorrow I'm going to be a midwife and a doula and a healer and a shaman and everything that I want to be, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. And that is not realistic for a number of reasons. And then the other thing is that you think you can't. You think that you're stuck in this, or you think that this is, sometimes we get this idea of who our ideal self should be, and then that's not even a realistic person. If your ideal self is Wonder Woman, that's not very realistic, and you're not going to achieve that, and you're going to feel defeated and like you're not doing a good job because you're not achieving those things, and that defeat and doubt is just going to cause more issues in other places. So that's why you have to have realistic expectations about who you think you should be and who you want to be and who you are. I guess the third thing is honest reflection. Sometimes, I didn't used to think I was a loud person. I just thought that this was normal volume. And so when people are like, God, you're loud, it's like, I'm not loud. You're just quiet. I don't know what your problem is. And like as a teenager, that's really how I felt. Like, I am not a loud person. This is just my volume. And I'm sorry that the rest of you are super sensitive. I don't even know. But then, as I grew up, I realized that I do have a higher normalized volume. Most people run it like a 3. I'm at like a 5. Just a little bit. So, but before I really reflected on that and was like, oh, okay, no, I really am loud. It was easy for me to be like, no, I'm not loud. I don't need to change this. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. It just is. You guys are the problem, not me. And there is a lot of that. And if you can't accept responsibility and really see yourself from that perspective, or a different perspective, or an outside perspective to really see who you are, then you can be missing that. So as you start to want to reflect on who you are and reflect on what you want to be and try to make yourself a better person and happier and more content and at homeostasis and all of these things, feel in balance and all of that stuff, you have to do this reflection. You have to stop and think, is this realistic? Am I do I have good goals? Is this where I want to be? What am I doing with this? Is this who I really am? Am I seeing myself honestly? Am I judging myself honestly? Because you also have to keep in mind that you have really high expectations for yourself. Most people have higher expectations for themselves than they do for anybody else, and you hold yourself up here on this crazy high standard, and you just reflect on that. Is that a realistic standard? Is this really how people see me? What is it that you need to see and know and understand? And so under this dark Cancer moon, you can really use that time to reflect. You can use this energy to reflect on who you are and who you want to be, and just reflect and journal and write it all down and just put it out there. And then the next day, on that new moon, when the light of the moon is shining and that maiden moon is coming in to illuminate the beauty and help you see things from that beautiful perspective, she can help you come at it with a very loving energy to reflect on that further. And so then, on that new moon, read what you wrote down. Think about what you wrote down. Journal what you're thinking. Collect those thoughts. Really internalize that. Think about it. And then see where you are from there. You might find that you're closer to your ideal self than you've ever thought you were, for a couple reasons. One, because, if you judge yourself with realistic expectations, you probably are a better person than you think you are. And then, two, a lot of times our ideal self is like way up here, and you're like, oh my God, oh, that's not realistic either. Just like I said, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow a midwife and a shaman and a doula and a healer and all of these things that in my lifetime I would like to achieve. That's just not going to happen tomorrow. And if I'm constantly mad at myself because that's not happening tomorrow, I don't have realistic expectations, and that's not helping me achieve that. It's hurting me. So don't think that you're going to achieve it tomorrow. Realistic goals, realistic expectations, and use this in time to reflect on that. So if you have any questions about ideal self or meditating, or would like to hear more on the spell that I have working in the works, just send me a message. Let me know. I would definitely be willing to send that out as a, whatever. I'm not going to post it here because it's pretty much what I just said, except for with some opening ritual and some closing ritual and some honoring the crown goddess. But it's the same thing with the 4 lists and the pieces of paper, and just go from there. So let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope everybody is enjoying the end of this moon season, whatever, not even really. I just hope everybody's enjoying July. So we'll talk to you all soon, and I hope you have a great day.